this particular person has all these flaws,
Yeah.
but you have no doubt in your soul, in your mind, that this is somebody who is meant for leadership.
Sort of like even what happened with PDD.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, do you know that he's been acquitted?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
We're gonna get dirty.
Yeah.
Deny.
Don't say that, man. You're telling people our formula. I'm sorry, deny.
No, that's a formula for the court. That's what they say in court, to deny everything.
The sapiosexual platter.
If your friend was drowning in a scandal or shame, would you dive in and go after them? Or would you stay on the shores so your clothes stay clean? In this episode of the Sapiosexual Platter, we're diving deep into the conversation of loyalty. My name is Belsa Abo Ame.
I am Shatani Samalakai.
Welcome to the Sapiosexual Platter. Answer the question.
I dive in. I go in. We're gonna get dirty.
Yeah.
Deny.
Don't say that, man. You're telling people our formula. I'm sorry, deny.
No, that's a formula for the court. That's what they say in court, to deny everything.
I don't know if I would deny, guys. I don't know if I would deny. I don't want to be caught on record saying that. I'm so got this swear on the Bible. And yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's a tough one.
It is.
Because it's one of those things that you only know what you will do in the moment that it happens.
Yeah.
It's like Peter denying Jesus, and just before that, he's the one that was claiming, this allegiance to Jesus. And then when the moment came to test him,
Yeah.
he denied him not once,
3 times.
3 times. Do you know that man? Me.
Yeah.
I don't know who that man is. I don't know who that man is. God save that man. God bless that man. What did Kiki Palmer says? Whatever Kiki Palmer says.
I don't know that man. God bless that man.
But obviously it is important, because who wants to be amongst people that won't stand up
Yeah.
for them
Yeah.
in their moment of trial?
Why did you think it was important for us to have a conversation about loyalty?
Because I think people, I tend to feel like we live in a culture where people are so happy to associate when it's good.
Yeah.
And they love you and your angels and your materials and what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to, the other side manifesting itself,
Yeah.
be it true or not true,
Yeah.
then they just disappear, disappearing acts. And sometimes I realize, like a Peter, that like for the life of him, he just couldn't commit.
Yeah.
So it's not to say that all people who leave are bad, but it's to say, like, have you ever, in your thoughts, as you journal, as you think about life, as you think about different relationships that you have, do you even have a stance on loyalty? Because I think a lot of people just don't have a stance. Like, what is your stance on loyalty? Who are your people? Who are not your people? And I think we also live in a world where we've been fooled to think that you don't need to, you can kind of chameleon into different groups.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And there's no consequences for that. So people almost don't even have a consciousness of, I left that person.
Yeah.
And they don't recognize, like, wow, so you said you guys used to hang out all the time, and then when this person went through this, you were not there.
Yeah.
And you're okay with that? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But what if the friendship was affected and there was a divorce? Like, would the person still owe any loyalty?
I mean, I don't know, because sometimes I don't know if it's still, because it's that thing about anxious attachment and how it still kind of lingers in different areas.
Yeah.
in my emotions, I would still feel some level of loyalty. That, okay, fine, we may not be together anymore.
Yeah.
But there was a time in life when you were my ride or die.
Yeah.
And to the extent that I have some resources to assist you in this moment,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, we broke up and therefore I'm not going to assist you.
Yeah.
So I feel like even with friendship, it's the same thing. It's to say we may not be hanging out every day like we used to.
Yeah.
We may have even had the conversation to say, you know what,
Yeah.
let's part ways. But if your suffering comes into my consciousness, I'm inclined, I would just be inclined to assist out of loyalty. Yeah.
Is it out of loyalty? Because you say you have anxious attachment issues. So like, how do you then draw the line between loyalty and fear of abandonment?
That's what I'm saying, is I don't know. I'm saying in myself,
Yeah.
I would be inclined to assist. It
Yeah.
would take somebody saying, hey, didn't you guys break up? Or
Yeah.
didn't you guys end the friendship? And then I'd be, yeah, we did. But like, I don't know.
Yeah.
In my mind, in my spirit, and my soul, I feel that I should assist, you know. And I don't know if that's a demonstration of loyalty or manifestation of loyalty, or it's a manifestation of a form of an anxious attachment. Yeah.
So in certain scenarios, like with friendships, like how do you then balance loyalty to the friendship and loyalty to yourself?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Because there is like a concept of like being loyal to somebody, but betraying your own needs and truths.
Yeah.
And it's quite wild because this is a thought process. Like when I look at like our last conversation on friendships and romantic partnerships, and how there's been situations where there'll be that boy, that man, that woman that you are almost loyal to pleasing at the detriment of your own needs, your own values. So then it's just like, where do you draw the line, especially when it comes to just relationships or friendships, and like intimate relationships, because intimacy is a factor that affects them. It's like in a friendship, where does one draw the line between I have loyalty for this relationship, however, in this season or at this time, it's compromising my values, my needs. And what do I do? Because I think a lot of the times with some people in their friendships or their relationships, the lack of loyalty or the betrayal ends up being that this person has possibly compromised or sacrificed themselves or betrayed rather their own needs and values. And then there's just an abrupt, you know what,
I'm out.
I've betrayed myself for so long. I can't do this anymore.
Well, then I guess maybe we can go back to that conversation on friendships vis-a-vis intimate relationships, and the concept of your destiny relationships. And I would think that in a destiny type of relationship, these are people whose values align most times.
But they'll still be challenged.
For sure.
Yeah, they'll still be challenged. The spiritual attacks that we spoke about.
Yeah. I guess the idea of loyalty in and of itself is intrinsically sacrificial.
Okay.
So you ought to feel some level of, I'm giving myself.
But there's a difference between sacrifice and betrayal.
Okay, so I get
If
you're
I betray
asking
my
like,
self-worth because I am entertaining some trickster.
yeah.
Where does one draw the
Well, I
line?
mean, that's a trickster, so that's the point. You
No, but in
shouldn't
the
be
moment, you don't
entertaining
see it
as
that way.
trickster. You should be, having destiny interaction,
But in
so-
the moment, somebody doesn't see that way. And there's been time that you and I have found ourselves in those trenches. And in that season, it takes like an encounter with the spirit, an encounter that's so negative that you're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
But
that's
it's
the
like-
answer. It's a wake-up call.
No, but before you get to the wake up call, what are you saying?
No, I'm saying, how do you draw the balance between this is somebody that's making me betray myself?
Yeah.
And I think like different interactions will demonstrate until you get to that point where there's a defining moment. There's like a...
But I don't want people to get to the defining moment, because the defining moment is always a negative trigger. It's either you fall down the stairs and hit your ankle, or you get into an accident, or you cut yourself. The encounter with the spirit is the wake up calls. It's normally not gentle. It's normally not like, oh, you're betraying yourself. Mm-hmm. It's normally a slap. Mm-hmm. So it's like, in order for people to not get to that level of getting the slap from the spirit, it's like, how can people have systems or mechanisms in place that can assist them in knowing the metric of loyalty in relation to loyalty to another person and loyalty to yourself? Because yes, in relationships you are meant to sacrifice. There's a sacrificial nature to it, but it shouldn't be sacrificed down to the point where you betray your own soul, because then that's a demonstration of a lack of loyalty to yourself.
100%.
And you can't give to other people what you
don't
give.
have.
Exactly.
Or what you can't. No, I think the starting point is that, why are you loyal to this person? Is it because you like them? Is it like chemical explosions? Is it
chemical explosions?
Is it what is this? This is the endorphins and
I guess you.
You know what I mean? Dopamine, all of this. Is it that?
Yeah.
Or is it like a spiritual, deep connection? And is it aligned with your values? Are there causes that you are fighting for?
Yeah.
Things like that, you know. I would imagine, like, even say in the context of politics, that you have people who, you know, this particular person has all these flaws, but you have no doubt in your soul, in your mind, that that this is somebody who is meant for leadership, and that you're supposed to, for example, be a tool or a helper towards that. And in that moment, you kind of have to play like the who was it you were telling me about, Bob Marley's wife, who saw like, this is a man of destiny, of great musical ability, and I'm just gonna ignore all of this nonsense. You know, get out. You know, you need to leave now. Telling the side chicks, because the fact of the matter is, you just knew in your soul that like the cause is music that will awaken the masses and their consciousness. And so I think the most important and fundamental thing is like the cause, the value. If that thing is not non-existent, then I guess you have no business being loyal, like blind, according anybody, like blind loyalty.
I guess it's down to asking the question of like, who deserves your loyalty? Because I think a lot of times we don't get taught or assess or have a system for ourselves, as in who deserves my loyalty and who doesn't deserve my loyalty.
But let me pull a bell right now.
No problem.
Before we get there.
Okay.
Before we get there. Why do you think loyalty is important?
For me, loyalty is important for stillness. Like, for just clarity of mind, loyalty is important. And it's just also important in navigating relationships, because I've come to realize that relationships work better and there's a better energetical flow when I have a clarity about what I stand for in people. And when that is challenged, the peace that I have by myself, knowing that whether I'm right or wrong, this is what I stand for. It's better than for me to be in a state of confusion. I'm like, if I've gotten it wrong, it'll be my lesson. That is absolutely fine. There's never any setback. There are always lessons and challenges that catapult you forward and create. So loyalty is not even an outward thing for me. I think it's just down to myself and what I decide about my life and who I am, and being that notwithstanding whatever may be happening outside. Because I've just found that it's just weird, man. Like, life is life is just so intense. Life has so many things that come about. And recently I've just been observing loyalty and just what is taking place in the field, in the friendship realm, friendship field, relationships that are around me in my network, and just assessing and observing. And I'm like, yo, people just find themselves in tricky places that it's just so hard to come out of. But then I realized, it's so hard. Like, I realized that it's so hard, it's so complex. But sometimes it's just easier to have a decision and then stick by it and hope that you're sticking to the wrong decision, God would bring somebody who can come and restore that decision later in future. I think what I've realized in terms of just friendships, it's like, I'll be friends with you, Shatanyi, and being friends with you, I'll know, oh, maybe that's your nemesis or your enemy or somebody who doesn't like you. And then there's this thing that goes around on social media where it's just like, don't pick up on people's battles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when you entered the equation and you were picking on people's abundance, anointing, connection, when it was good, it was fun for you. And then you don't want to pick on their battles. No, when you enter and you encounter a spirit, a soul, a friend, you are getting all of them, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
When you choose to love a person, you're choosing to love the good and the bad. So when you're shown the bad, you need to understand that love is a choice. And when the bad of this person is reflected to me, is my love for this person unconditional, you know? So now when it comes to just loyalty, it's like, okay, here's your nemesis. I don't want to pick your battles. I don't know what happened between you guys. So it's okay for me to go sit with your enemy or nemesis or somebody who doesn't like you for coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you muddying your waters?
Yeah.
You may look at them from afar and think, oh, that's a cool person. But I've got Shatanyi who doesn't get along with this person. And this person has a circle of friends. And then I want to be close with that close circle of friends. I'm just like, man, it's okay.
It's just messy.
It's just messy. Like, just stay out of the mess. There's 8 billion people in this world. You can see the inner associates of your best friend's enemy and think they're cool. But it's just like there are even other cooler people in the world. And God can restore in a way where there's just clarity and it's not muddy. So I just like still waters.
Yeah. I like that. It's very powerful. It's to say loyalty is not even for the other person more than it is for you. To say having clarity, because there is a dissonance that comes with, I'm not sure where I stand and what defines why you move from this point to that point. Are you just being an opportunist? Are you just being a materialist? You know, are you just being a shallow person who's only there for the good times and then, you know, jumps ship as soon as something pops up that is challenging?
Do you know what triggered, sorry to cut you short, this phrase that a man who doesn't stand for anything
falls for
everything?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's it. Yeah.
So even there's a scripture.
Yeah.
God says, because you are lukewarm, I'm about to spit you out of my mouth. Like,
I got a little intense.
Honestly, because
I don't name cold or hot.
Yeah, decide. Are you hot? Are you cold? Are you
Yeah.
hot? Are you this side or are you this side?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have both. It's just good to spit out is like it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Essentially, like if we're being graphic and trying to interpret the scripture, but basically to say like this thing of not being sure where you are at is actually quite distasteful behavior that warrants a spit out. You know, and it's really unattractive. Hey,
Yeah.
not knowing where you stand because you don't have a backbone. We don't know what you're about.
Yeah.
And Loana, clearly you're having difficulty having clarity what you are about. And it just creates, like you're saying, I can imagine just a lot of turbulence within yourself because how we
your energy is like
your
this.
energy is just so you can go on.
No, why am I going on?
No, because I had paused you to say, why do you think loyalty is important?
Yeah.
Before that, though, you were just we were trying to figure out what is the metric
Yeah.
for loyalty?
I don't know if I was talking about the metric for loyalty, but since you're in the business of posing questions to me, I'll pose a question to you.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't expect that.
When would you say loyalty stops being love and starts being stagnation? Because there's a point where you're loyal, and it's a demonstration of love, and then there's a point where that loyalty then, for some reason, creates stagnancy.
The function of loyalty is to allow the person who's breaking apart to have a safe space to get themselves back together.
Yeah,
I think that's really
I think that's
it.
powerful.
Yeah, like you're loyal. The people.
But do they always
the
have to
times-
be breaking apart?
Not necessarily, but
Okay.
the times when loyalty was necessary, good with that I had to be loyal to anyone or people had to be loyal to me.
Yeah.
Something was happening in my life.
Yeah, the test.
The test was taking place. And so it was a transition that required people to surround me and protect me through that transition.
Yeah.
And so it means that I have to transit from that place that I was at that required people to deny or to, you know, protect or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so if I stay in that, then I'm doing a disservice to the people who
Mind
are...
you, we're always denying truth. I just need to put it out there. When you see us denying, we're
Just
actually
being
telling the truth.
comical.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I don't want this to come and bite us. We're honest people. We're always speaking the truth, and we always portray forward
Yeah.
what is of truth.
For sure. I mean, loyalty is I mean, as portrayed in the movies, you
Yeah.
know, there will be the denials, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's for that reason. And so I also believe that the people that you are loyal to, you owe something to them. To say in the period when I didn't have, in the period when I could have fallen because everybody was attacking me,
Yeah.
you then became that guard for me and you took the bullet for me,
Yeah.
right? And so I can't afford to then stay down because the longer you stay up, then you're compromising yourself.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes any sense.
I get you.
And so to answer the question of like when loyalty becomes stagnancy is when the person who you're being loyal to doesn't recognize the value of that loyalty, because that it happens to you where people are offered loyalty and they don't recognize gore kana goha, people were standing in the gap for you.
Yeah.
And they either don't change or they don't transit or, you know, display behavior that demonstrates, well, perhaps you're not worthy of the loyalty.
Yeah.
And that then results in stagnancy in the person who was being loyal to you. And so then for me, and under those circumstances, you have every right to say, I have done my part,
Yeah.
but peace be unto you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I found interesting is that loyalty at times has an expiration date. So it's like we would be friends, we would be close, and then like the friendship will fall apart. And it's like, because there's no longer a commitment or love, then the loyalty doesn't exist anymore. It's like I would maybe tell you my deep dark secret, and then it's just like the moment that the friendship dismantles, you air my deep dark secret.
Yeah, like you
or-
air the laundry, everything.
yeah. Or even beyond that, just telling it to somebody else. So it's just like, should loyalty have an expiry date, or should it be transactional, or should it be unconditional? And if it is unconditional loyalty and eternal loyalty or sacred to the time we shared, what should fit that, the requirements of that? What would the requirements of that look like? Like somebody who's deserving of that.
Wow, this is such a deep conversation. Does loyalty have an expiration date? Like I'm saying, I'm just inclined not to think that it doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
I really like, and I love that point you said, it's more about you than it is about that person.
Yeah.
To say like, if I'm moving from relationship to relationship, and every new relationship, the new person knows the details and, you know, the inner workings of the person I was with prior. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's an attractive trait. I think you owe them the respect and the loyalty of, we may not be together anymore, but, you know, the time we shared was sacred. And it's a time and the energy that has propelled you to your next relationship.
Yeah.
And so if you're who you are because of that previous relationship and everything that you got from that relationship.
Yeah.
So in a way, you still carry that person into the next part of your life in that sense.
Yeah.
And so I would then argue that loyalty doesn't have an expiration date in
Yeah.
that sense.
So deep. I think
I would just be disappointed if my exes are busy telling people.
I'm sure they are somehow.
So disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
I'm sure they are in some way or the
but
other.
it's unfortunate. But
Yeah.
I would say,
Especially if it ends bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where you need to be careful. Like, don't be moved by the turbulences of life.
Yeah.
It's like
This too shall pass.
this too shall pass, and yeah.
Then what would you say?
Do you think it has an expiration date?
Loyalty?
Yeah.
I think it's tough. I think it depends on the circumstances. I mean, if I'm loyal to a friend and they kill somebody and then they let me know, I guess there's an expiration date.
Well, that's just plain illegal. Okay, so we ain't talking about those extreme circumstances, but
I guess it has an expiration date, but I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one because I think loyalty is one of those things that doesn't come by so easy. And I don't think it's a muscle that people see the need to really invest deeply in. For me, it ends up compromising the integrity of relationships because I think the importance of loyalty, not just to oneself, is also to do with the destiny relationship, the friendship, because if somebody is a destiny relationship and they are intertwined with your destiny to either catapult you or put you forward in whatever regard, loyalty is a big, big, big component of it. It's a big pacifier in the times where the relationship is tried, because relationships are going to go through the ups and downs, but the thread of what keeps them in integrity is loyalty. So I think it's important in that regard, because in order to maximize what you get from the human currency through relationships is exactly that. It's loyalty. And I don't know, loyalty just has a way of bestowing honor onto people.
absolutely.
Grace onto people. You know, you'd read stories of how somebody was a house help to somebody and they were loyal and faithful and, had integrity. And then it's like, oh, this person dies, and then they leave things for their children and they include this person in the will.
Yeah.
And it's like that level of opening up yourself to a person can only be an incubation and a demonstration of how loyal they are to you.
That's
Because
powerful.
if it doesn't have that, it affects the level of openness within
Yeah.
the
The
relationship.
quality, the texture
Exactly.
of the relationship. Yeah.
So it's just so insane, because I think for me in the recent times, just seeing what's been taking place in the political sphere of Botswana has been a deep eye-opener on the concept of loyalty. And then just realizing that with different political regimes or people that come in power, there will be people who are just seasonally loyal, or maybe it's a transactional loyalty. And it's like, you as a person, you enter the equation not aware, is this energetical loyalty, transactional loyalty, unconditional loyalty?
Wow.
You assume the stance that everybody's coming in with some level of unconditional loyalty. But when the transaction of the season is done, people show
disappear.
themselves.
Oh, yes.
And
they
then it's
disappear.
just, it shocks your system. It shocks some of us who one of our values is loyalty. Or like, what in the world is going on here? And it does something to you. I think for me, it's been a confusing experience, and also a very defining experience, because I was like, okay, who am I? And what do I believe? And what do I choose? Because I think loyalty is often, with my opening question, it's often challenged when somebody's under deep scrutiny. And then you either ask yourself, do you ride the tide with them, or do you join in the trend of, proving your innocence by declaring them guilty?
Yeah.
Sort of like even what happened with P. Diddy.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh, do you know that he's been acquitted?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know. And I look at people that he was associated with. Because I feel like we cannot be friends, but we can possibly have an association. If I render you a service, if we interact closely on business and we join our image and portray to the world, we are associating our image with one another. And there needs to be some level of loyalty to that because it's a choice. So it was interesting to watch TD Jakes and Oprah publicly declare and dissociate themselves deeply with Didi. You know, maybe they could have just kept quiet, or maybe they were too much under fire for keeping quiet. So I remember seeing a clip of Oprah going like, "Oh,
I never been no Diddy party.
Diddy party.
I never been close to that."
And you know, TD Jakes also joining in, and I'm like, but the pictures of you with this person, not even just a one-off, you took a picture with a fan, but like multiple ones, you know, with TD Jakes where Diddy's lying on his chest, you know, and saying, "This is my father," or whatever their relationship was. And then it's just like, okay, now Diddy's under fire. And then everybody's just like, you know how autumn leaves just fall off? They're just falling off one by one. Yeah, so it's been an interesting time energetically looking at the concept of loyalty. And then what interests me as well also, it's like people who are loyal in action but spiritually disconnected.
Okay, that's interesting.
So like you would know that you don't like the job, you don't like the home, you don't like the car, but you still go to the job, you still stay in the home.
Is that loyalty?
It is loyalty in action.
Okay.
It's loyalty in action because
You've
action-wise...
coined so many terms today. Unconditional loyalty, seasonal loyalty.
I'm an expert in loyalty.
In action. I'm just like, all right.
I'm an expert in loyalty. I've been in this game.
I don't know. I think it's loyalty in action where you're disconnected from from everything. I don't know that you're doing yourself a favor. I mean, it's that thing that we talked about. Like, is it worth it if you're losing your soul in the process? And you find people like that. People say who are married and they've just, no, we're just doing it for the kids, you know. But I'm not really in love with him. And you know, the last time we're intimate was like 10 years ago, and it's just like, okay, so I don't know what to say about that. You know what I mean? No judgment, but I'm like, what is the cause? Okay, fine. I guess the cause is family, but sheesh, guys, that's hi, guys, that's tough.
It's a very complex
That's
one.
really tough.
I've seen things in life, and I'm seeing them now.
And I think it's also the fact that life is life is long.
Bruh.
So, you know, there's so much can happen in a season, but it can completely just kind of turn around in the next season.
Yeah.
And if you were making your decisions based on the transaction or the feelings or the emotions or what's happening in the current moment, and then things completely turn around in the next season, then what? You know? So just trying to almost gauge, you almost kind of have to gauge life and say, Job lost everything, you know, at some point. And then when it was restored 7 times over. Yeah. And so that man who used to be on the street with sores on his body is now ultra wealthy, Jeff Bezos vibes, you know. And it's like, you left. You left. You know. So I think that's why I think loyalty is so important, because life is seasonal and life is long. And if you're going to make decisions based on one season, you're going to miss out on the seasons when things get restored. Yeah.
I think for me, what the foundation of our conversation last week, the seasonal relationship and destiny partners, it's like the hecticness of putting unconditional loyalty on a seasonal relationship.
Ooh.
And the seasons change and life is long, and you find yourself later in life holding on and loyal to history as opposed to loyal to growth.
To the reality,
The reality.
Oh my word. This is a whole sermon, honestly. Ugh. This is a whole segment.
I don't even have answers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's actually a really tough one. But I think for me, what I would love the audience to leave with is just having a consciousness of, have you ever even thought about loyalty in life? Have you ever thought about it? What's your matrix for it? Why do you think it's important? Because life will present you with circumstances that test your loyalty. And your life can quite fall apart because you were loyal to the wrong person, or that you weren't loyal at all, that you didn't make a decision. You know, so I think so much rides on loyalty in a world where we're told to kind of minimize the strength of relationship. We don't realize that and if you're not treating the people around you with respect, and if you're not honoring the sacredness of those relationships, there's so much that gets compromised in your life. People who aren't loyal to their families, they can say whatever they want about their moms, their dads. That whole scripture of honor your mother, your father, is a component of loyalty to it. To say like, yeah, you may not like what they did to you, how they raised you, but you must bestow respect by all means. So yeah.
And
Loyalty, guys. There you have it. An interesting one. A beginning or foundational conversation for us. I think we're going to have a lot more conversations about loyalty and unpack that. But wishing you an amazing week ahead, and see you next week. My name is Shatani Samalakai.
And I am Belsavo Ame.
You've been watching
The Sapiosexual Platter.